Your vehicle is not operating anywhere near its true potential. Not because it's flawed, not because you're neglecting it, but because major automotive brands have engineered your ownership experience around one goal: dependence. Dependence on dealership service bays, overpriced diagnostics, and maintenance schedules optimized for their bottom line, not your vehicle's longevity. Today, we're breaking down 10 insider techniques. These aren't gimmicks. These are the same principles seasoned technicians teach each other behind the scenes, the same adjustments that quietly save drivers thousands, and the same reasons why some vehicles reach 300,000 or even 400,000 miles, while others suffer major failures before 100,000. Stay with me until the end. 10. The tire pressure truth that changes everything. One of the most overlooked performance tools on your entire vehicle is the tire. Modern cars rely on specific pressure values to determine handling, stability, fuel efficiency, and braking distance. Yet the number printed on your driver's doorframe, the one most people trust blindly, was never designed with real-world efficiency in mind. Manufacturers set those pressures around a fully loaded cabin, all seats filled, trunk maxed out, and passengers of average weight. But statistically, nearly 90% of trips involve only 1 or 2 passengers. That means your tires are softer than ideal, increasing rolling resistance and quietly draining fuel. Increasing tire pressure by 3 to 5 psi above the door sticker, still well within safe limits, instantly sharpens steering response, improves tire wear, and can increase mileage by 2 to 3 mpg for many vehicles. Tire companies openly discuss this in internal documents, but manufacturers never highlight it because a firmer ride feels less luxury during test drives. This single adjustment costs nothing, yet it immediately unlocks performance you already paid for. 9. The throttle body deep clean that restores lost power. As engines age, they inhale a mixture of air, microscopic oil vapor, and combustion byproducts. Over tens of thousands of miles, that mixture leaves a sticky film on the throttle body, the gateway controlling how much air your engine receives. When that film builds up, idle becomes unstable, throttle response dulls, and airflow drops dramatically. Most companies claim the throttle body is maintenance-free, but anyone who's worked on real engines knows the truth. By 50,000 miles, a huge percentage of vehicles lose measurable airflow to carbon accumulation. Cleaning it manually with throttle-safe cleaner, a soft brush, and a few minutes of attention removes that restriction and restores airflow immediately. Countless drivers report smoother starts, sharper acceleration, and improved fuel economy after a cleaning that costs less than a fast food meal. Manufacturers don't emphasize it because they would rather wait for symptoms than bill you for a service that takes 15 minutes. 8. The mass airflow sensor fix that dealerships avoid. The MAF sensor is the brainstem of your fuel-air mixture. It tells the computer how much air is entering your engine, so the ECU can deliver the perfect amount of fuel. When that sensor becomes coated in microscopic dust, and it does, it begins reading low airflow, tricking the engine into running rich. Rich mixtures waste gas, foul plugs, and drop MPG like a rock. Studies reveal that over 40% of air-fuel diagnostic codes stem from a contaminated MAF sensor. A simple cleaning with MAF-specific cleaner, never break cleaner, often transforms a sluggish vehicle overnight. Technicians privately do this before recommending replacements, because it works more often than not. Yet dealerships routinely skip straight to selling new sensors, because replacement pays more than cleaning. This single step can restore lost MPG, improve throttle response, and prevent unnecessary codes, all for under $10. 7. Resetting ECU memory after a previous owner. Every modern vehicle has adaptive learning built into its ECU. Over time, it memorizes driving style, throttle input habits, shift timing, and idle patterns. Buying a used car means inheriting the driving behaviors of the prior owner: hesitant throttle, slow acceleration, or inconsistent pedal use. Resetting ECU memory by disconnecting the battery's negative terminal for 15 minutes clears that inherited behavior. Allowing the engine to idle afterward lets the computer relearn from scratch, shaping itself around your driving patterns, not someone else's. Drivers often describe the transformation as dramatic: stronger throttle response, more intuitive shifting, and smoother power delivery. Dealerships routinely charge over $100 for this simple reset. The high RPM carbon burn-off a forgotten ritual. Short trips create a hidden enemy: low engine temperatures. When an engine never reaches full operating heat, carbon deposits accumulate inside the combustion chamber and on intake valves. Over years, this buildup absorbs fuel, lowers compression, and makes engines feel weak, even with low mileage. The solution is the old-school high RPM carbon burn-off, commonly known as the Italian tune-up. Running the engine at 4,000 RPM for about 15 minutes on the highway elevates cylinder temperature enough to vaporize built-up deposits. This process restores lost efficiency, frees stuck rings, and sharpens acceleration without chemicals or expensive services. It's a method widely known in Europe, where high RPM driving is common, but rarely discussed in the US, where manufacturers prefer selling carbon cleaning packages. Spark plugs are often marketed as pre-gapped, but factory tolerances allow wide variations. Even tiny differences in gap size dramatically influence ignition quality. A narrower gap creates a stronger spark that resists misfire under load, while overly wide gaps weaken ignition and waste fuel. Setting plugs to the tighter end of their specification often stabilizes idle, improves cold starts, and increases combustion efficiency. A simple $4 gapping tool ensures consistent spark across all cylinders, something manufacturers rarely emphasize because emissions testing, not performance, dictates factory gap settings. 4. The oil change interval myth. Extended oil intervals sound convenient, but they're based on perfect driving conditions. Steady cruising, warm climate, minimal idling. Real-world driving is the opposite. Short trips, cold starts, stop-and-go congestion. Oil analysis consistently shows that long intervals accelerate sludge formation and component wear. Changing oil more frequently, every 5,000 miles for conventional and 6,000 to 7,000 miles for synthetic, dramatically increases engine life. Independent shops recommend this universally because they've seen firsthand what happens when drivers trust extended intervals blindly. Factory paper air filters are deliberately engineered to reduce intake noise more than they are designed to maximize performance. Dense filter media quiets the engine for test drives but significantly reduces airflow. Installing a high-flow drop-in filter improves breathing efficiency by 30 to 50% without compromising filtration. It sharpens throttle response, strengthens mid-range power, and reduces the workload on your engine, all without requiring modifications. This is one of the easiest performance upgrades any driver can make. 2. Fuel injector cleaning, the technician's shortcut. As injectors age, fuel varnish and deposits distort the spray pattern, causing hesitation, rough idle, and declining MPG. Replacement is expensive, so many shops push it quickly, but professionals often use concentrated rail-fed cleaning solutions that restore proper spray patterns for a fraction of the cost. This method can recover several miles per gallon and return lost horsepower without replacing a single part. It's the hidden secret that keeps high-mileage cars running smoothly. 1. The transmission fluid lie that ends cars early. Many owners rely on the phrase lifetime fluid, assuming it protects their transmission forever. In practice, lifetime refers to the warranty period, not the life of the vehicle. Transmission fluid breaks down long before 100,000 miles, especially under heat and load. Performing a drain and fill every 30 to 40,000 miles refreshes protective additives, reduces wear metals, and extends transmission life dramatically. This maintenance alone can mean the difference between a gearbox failing at 90,000 miles or lasting past 200,000. It is the single most important service automakers avoid promoting